WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Scott Martin. Well, the weekend gets off to a bad start for one area driver. Shortly before 6, a car leaving Columbus and merging onto Highway 82 westbound burst into flames. Just look at that smoke there. Well, the incident happened between Highway 45 and Main Street exits, causing some traffic headaches for some on their evening commute. Both westbound lanes were closed for about an hour as emergency crews put out that fire and cleared the scene. The good news is the driver did escape without any injuries. A new bill could be a ticket out of going to jail. Victoria Bailey, she breaks down House Bill 387 and shares what legislators say its goal is.
It's showing that Mississippi is being progressive in its stance against criminal justice reform.
District 41 Representative Kabir Kareem is talking about House Bill 387.
It would stop individuals who have been formerly incarcerated that are now out from going back to jail because they can't pay their fines or their restitutions. And also it will set up a task force that will look at the inequities of sentencing throughout the state.
Kareem co-authored the bill. He says it's a necessity to the community.
It's already difficult for people that have a felony on them to find employment, and sometimes, unfortunately, because they couldn't pay their fines or their restitutions, they were sentenced back to being incarcerated. Well, now, because of the passing of House Bill 387, they don't have to worry.
Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says for his department, the bill creates a bit more hustle for his deputies.
The way we understand it, the judge will, after a person has failed to pay, what he'll do, he'll send out a show cause hearing form through the sheriff's department. What we'll do, we'll serve that paper on that person, asking him to appear in court, he or her, to appear in court and to explain to the judge why he has not paid their fine. And at that point, if they don't pay their fine, then I will assume that they'll issue a warrant.
Which Cantrell says could have a lasting impression on the county system.
It's just going to be a little harder for us. It's going to be a little harder for the courts. You know, of course, the county, you know, in all counties, they count on the fine money to operate, you know, the court systems, to operate the county system. And it funds a lot of the, you know, a lot of departments, such as helps to fund the sheriff's department.
Cantrell says it'll take a bit of getting used to, but above all, the department is only interested in following the law.
We don't want to incarcerate any indigent person. We want to give that person the opportunity to pay his fines, and we'd rather him pay his fines or to lay it out in jail, because we have to feed that person, clothe that person, make sure if he needs to go to the doctor or whatever. It would be a less expense on the county if they would pay their fines.
The law goes into effect July the 1st. Governor Phil Bryant announces his support of sending troops to patrol the U.S.-Mexican border. In a statement today, the governor says Mississippi's National Guard will stand ready to receive an order from the president. A Mississippi National Guard spokesman says that the state has not received a request for troops, but Mississippi Guardsmen have been sent to patrol the border before. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey says she'll work with troop leaders to see if Alabama's National Guard has enough troops to send if requested. Well, time now to get a first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. And Keith, a little rainy and turning a little cool out there.
Indeed, Scott, it's been a very wet day. Here's our time lapse from downtown Columbus. Overcast for a good chunk of the day. Heavy showers and storms moving through the region, but on a positive note for our area, no severe weather actually occurred today, which is great news. The heaviest rain now shifting to our south and east, but we still have pockets of moderate rain from Kosciuszko down to Macon. A very strong line of storms now moving south of I-20, but that is moving away from our area. Tomorrow, though, your Saturday, not the best here. We're looking at highs primarily in the 40s, some spots in the low 50s, a few showers possible. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, thousands are expected to be in the Friendly City and tour more than a dozen historic homes on this year's pilgrimage. Our Quentin Smith, he took a tour today. He joins us live in the studio to share its rich history. Hey there, Quentin.
Yes, Scott, I had the chance to go through the Adams I Love home. It was built in 1848 and is one of the oldest homes here in Columbus. The homeowner tells me, for him, it's important to preserve this piece of history.
I've lived here longer than I did in my home in Memphis where I grew up, so this is home.
To the naked eye, the Ams I Love home may look like your typical modern-day home, but there's more here than meets the eye. Just ask the homeowner himself.
I'm the 7th generation of the family to live here and the first male of my family in 100 years.
Sid Carradine says his Ams I Love home is named after his great-great-grandfather and has been standing tall since the mid-1800s.
They've never taken anything out. They haven't updated it. I still use space heaters and things like that, and I cook on a 1920s gas stove made by Vulcan Company.
He's lived here since 1981 and knows what it takes to keep a home that's over a century and a half old looking brand new.
I try to paint a quarter of it every 3 months, and keep a roof on it and polish it and shine, you gotta work, gotta keep a house clean.
Carradine says when tourists stop by, many of them enjoy seeing the outbuildings or other antique features of the home. But for him, it's the rich history the home is filled with that stands out the most.
I think going back and seeing the people that actually lived here and see their portraits and their pictures and see the things that they made, all the netting and knitting and crocheting, all the bedspreads and things like that. The people that actually lived here, you see their pictures on the walls and in the scrapbooks. So I think that's the unique thing about this home.
For Carradine, it's important to remember and preserve this type of history. And it's a message he passes along to everyone who comes through, especially the youth.
I think, it's like that old cliche, if you don't know your history, you don't know where you're going, that sort of thing. But it's nice to know your history.
Now, there are still plenty of chances to view this home and others. For a full list of the remaining tour dates and times, just visit our website at WCBI.com.
Hundreds of people came out to the Starkville Sportsplex for the annual Relay for Life fundraiser. Cancer survivors joined together to walk a lap around the track. Teams from area churches, businesses, and families all came together to raise money for cancer research and education. A luminaria and torch ceremony was also held to honor those who've lost the fight to cancer. Organizers say the event is important for the whole community.
And the whole concept about the relay or the walking the court is that it is a constant fight. Cancer is a constant battle. And so we walk to show that we are giving our support and we're fighting that fight with individuals who either have had cancer or are currently battling.
The event is the largest American Cancer Society fundraiser for Oktibbeha County.
It's been a wet day in Tupelo, still some wet streets out here. The heaviest rain is now done for you, but tomorrow between 10 and noon at the West Main Kroger, we'll be talking weather safety programming weather radios. We hope to see you there. The full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
So nice to see you on our Friday evening earlier this afternoon down here in Louisville. Look at all that rain that was accumulating, coming down in sheets in some places. Case in point right there in Winston County. Also some interesting looking stratus clouds we had out there today, these wavy clouds. Typical of a fairly stable environment. We had some of those clouds move on through the region today. I say relatively stable because we did see some unsettled weather with the showers and storms earlier today and the heavier storms now pushing to our south. But that's our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy. Here's a live view in downtown Columbus, still pretty wet across the region. The heaviest rain is now pulling away from Tupelo. Sayonara, right? We've had our rain, but some spots have had 1 to 3 inches of rain today. Still some heavier rain south and east of Columbus, some lighter rain still in Columbus, and back down to Louisville, Kosciuszko, Carthage, and Philadelphia. There's actually some tree and power line damage there in Philadelphia earlier today with those stronger storms, and we still have very strong storms along and south of I-20 right now, and even a tornado warning right now still in effect for this area near Hazelhurst, right there south of Jackson, right along I-55. That rotation right there, tornado warning until 10:45 tonight. So very active to our south. Upstream, we have this disturbance that will give us a chance for some showers later tonight and during our day Saturday. So it's not going to be the best of days for Saturday. We're looking at highs mainly in the 40s to low 50s, winds from the north at 10 to 25, mid 40s to low 50s, a fairly cloudy day, a few showers possible. It should not be an all-day washout or anything, but just to plan accordingly. Jackets needed. And then tomorrow night, the clouds go away. We clear out down into the low 30s and upper 20s as we start our Sunday. So a cold start to the weekend, very cold for this time of year. The average high right now in the low 70s, and we're looking at 40s to low 50s on Saturday, but the clouds go away, mostly sunny on Sunday. Our next system will give us a chance for a few showers, maybe late Monday into Monday night. Just a 20% chance of rain with that system. I think most of our Monday should be okay. Highs back up to around 70. And speaking of a nice warming trend, look at the 7-day forecast, Scott. We're looking at some upper 70s to low 80s by next Thursday, next Friday. So some pretty nice weather. After we get through tomorrow night, we should be in pretty good shape.
Looking forward to next week. All right, thanks, Keith. Well, with the chilly weather on tap, you might be looking for some indoor entertainment. The annual Dancing with the King Gala and Scholarship Fundraiser is back in Tupelo, and our Allie Martin is taking part in the celebrity round. We take a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to perfect all that footwork.
My dance this year is set to the song Come On Everybody from the movie Viva Las Vegas.
We're doing a combination of swing and salsa.
Choreographer Melissa Halbert has the task of turning ordinary people into performers.
Quick, slow, now side.
Halbert says each routine has its own set of challenges.
Making sure that everything's done in time, trying to also teach you the technique for things, because some technique, depending on the dance, is easier said than done. For example, you've got a lot of rock steps between swing and salsa, which is a combination, just literally shifting weight back and forth is all it is.
The event features amateurs all dancing to the music of Elvis Presley. The Tupelo Elvis Presley Fan Club and the Dance Studio uses proceeds from the weekend to provide scholarships to young dancers. Halbert says a lot of hard work goes into the gala, but she knows it exposes a new age group to ballroom dancing and the music of the original American Idol.
This is a great way just to open up the opportunities for the kids. I mean, it's personally helped me as well. Before I maybe listened to an Elvis song here or there on occasion, but now I've become really more engulfed in Elvis and all of the music that he's done, and it's definitely opened up some awareness big time, which is what we want to do for the youth.
Dancing with the King runs Friday through Sunday. In Tupelo, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Everybody and turn your head to the left.
A lot of fun, I'm sure. Well, tickets are still available for this weekend's shows. For more information, just go to our website, WCBI.com. Some area students are using technology to help other kids interact more easily with their surroundings. We'll explain next. Welcome back, everyone. 2 New Hope students are soon competing against students across the globe for a robotics contest. Ashton and Aubrey designed a robot named Cat, aimed to help kids with autism. I sat down with them earlier this week to see how it works.
It goes like, and this tail swags back and forth.
An extensive project that took hours of research.
The hardest part was programming it.
You have to program the motors, which takes a few minutes because you gotta look at this and look at this.
But 5th grader Ashton and 4th grader Aubrey are being modest. How hard was this to make?
It wasn't really that hard.
It wasn't that hard.
This square box here tells the robot what to do. The 2 built Cat specifically for a high school student who suffers from autism. After gathering all the information they needed from medical experts, it was time for a field test.
He came in and he was having a really bad morning. So they turned it on for about 20 minutes, and in just a couple minutes, he was already calmed down.
With different autism spectrums, the little Einsteins knew that some may like different textures, so they made the tail of the robot interchangeable.
It's very soft and stringy. He liked to play with these, and he just liked to let it rub across his arm. And then he liked this one, which is like, think of it as like a grill brush.
Cat got a lot of attention at the VEX IQ robotic contest in Jackson. Ashton and Aubrey won state and will soon compete at Worlds. Their teacher and coach, Jennifer Caldwell, says it's inspiring to see two young minds working to help other kids.
It really works. So they're on to something. So we're hoping that it might go further than just this competition. They're making a difference.
Making a difference is what these two say it's all about.
It means to me that I could possibly help lots of people around the world.
Knowing that you could help a lot of people makes you really glad.
The World's competition is in Kentucky at the end of the month. They'll compete again with kids from all around the world. Now, going does come with a cost. To find out how you can help, just visit our website, WCBI.com. Well, coming up, a new sheriff is in town with Ole Miss women's basketball. More with the new head coach of the Rebels next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
Well, as you know by now, no baseball coming up tonight at Mississippi State. The Bulldogs and the Red Bulls will have to hold off until Saturday. First pitch for Game 1 will be noon. They'll play 2. Doubleheader will start at noon, and then Game 2 will be 45 minutes after Game 1's completion. So something to look forward to. A double dip at the Dude for Saturday. Well, as the women's basketball arms race continues in the Southeastern Conference, Ole Miss hopes that their new hire will be able to catch up with what Hale State Hoops is doing, and there's plenty to like with the new hire by Ross Bjork. As earlier today, the Rebels officially introduced Coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen as their new head women's basketball coach. Coach Yo becomes the 9th head coach in program history. She takes over from Matt Insel. Coach Yo spent the last 5 seasons at Jacksonville University as head coach, posting a 94-63 record. She also led the Dolphins to the NCAA tournament in 2016 after winning the Atlantic Sun tournament. She also advanced to the NIT the past 2 seasons. Jacksonville also won 20 games each of the last 3 years while Coach Yo is the head coach, and she now looks forward to a new challenge ahead of her coaching in the SEC.
When Ole Miss opened up, I was excited because it is the SEC. It's the best conference in the country. I do my research too. This guy is a phenomenal leader. His vision is infectious. You know, it's prime real estate. This is a place where, you know, we can do the unthinkable and the unimaginable. You know, one of my good friends, Dabo Sweeney, always says everything's impossible until you make it happen. And so I'm excited about the challenge.
Speaking of women's college hoops, Mississippi State checks in on ESPN's way too early top 25 for next season at number 8 as the Bulldogs are behind the top-ranked defending champs from Notre Dame, Oregon, Baylor, and UConn. The Huskies are at number 4. Tennessee, Missouri, Georgia, South Carolina all inside the top 15 in the way too early pool. To the signing day circuit from Friday at Columbus High, your 6A boys state champs well represented at the signing table. 4 Falcons will continue their hoop dreams at the JUCO level, joining Robert Woodard, who's going to Mississippi State. Super point guard Casey Smith signed on with Jones County Junior College. You see him right there. He'll be a Bobcat. R.J. Deloach will follow his journey to Holmes, where he will be a Bulldog. R.J.'s teammate Eric Johnson will continue to be his teammate, as Johnson also signed with Holmes. Last but not least, Denijay Harris also signed to play for the Southwest Bears. Congratulations to the Fab Four signing from Columbus High. At Aberdeen, star forward Tamara Sykes signed to her letter of intent to continue her basketball career at Northwest. Sykes averaged nearly a double-double in her last season as a Lady Dog, 12 points, 9.8 rebounds. She helped lead Aberdeen to one of their best seasons in recent memory. They went 25-6 overall this past year, and her coach is proud to see her continue her hoops journey.
I think she'll transition well. She's very athletic, and she can run with the best of them. So we're looking forward to see her play at the JUCO level.
At Tupelo, Jay Henderson signed to continue throwing strikes down the alley with Blue Mountain College following graduation. The two-time MHSAA Class II boys state champ has been on the Tupelo Golden Wave bowling team for the last 5 seasons. His career high in a game is .250. Also want to mention Keyshawn Park signed with Crowley's Ridge College in Arkansas for hoops. Now, he graduated this last year with Amory, but has had a great career with the Panthers, so congratulations to Keyshawn. And to college football, the 2018 Grove Bowl kicks off tomorrow from Vaught Hemingway Stadium. The Rebels will conclude their spring football season with their annual public scrimmage. Kickoff set for 1 p.m. Admission is free before the game. And before the game, the annual Chucky Mullins Courage Award winner will be announced, and we'll find out who will wear the number 38 this year for the Rebels. The Grove Bowl format will feature the Ole Miss offense wearing red and the defense wearing blue. The defense will be spotted a 27-0 lead as the offense tries to score enough to overtake them. Defense can increase its score total with turnovers. We'll be there. We'll have the highlights and reaction for you coming up tomorrow night here on WCBI Sports. A couple other news and notes. Quindary Weatherspoon will test the NBA draft waters. He will not hire an agent, just like Nick and Lamar Peters. Colin Sexton will go pro. He is hiring an agent. Ole Miss lands 4-star quarterback from Texas, Grant Tisdale. Dude can spin it. He's got some pretty good wheels as well, so a big commit there for Ole Miss. That's all we got for sports. We will get a last look at your forecast when we come back.
The heaviest by far, and those strong storms well off to our south, that is moving to our south. So we'll clear things out a little bit as far as the rainfall this evening. Still the chance for a few showers tomorrow. Extensive cloud cover, breezy and cool. Very cool tomorrow night. Sunday, more sun, lighter wind. A pretty nice day for us, and then we'll moderate all of next week. And that's welcome relief.
The sun returns next week. 80s by Friday, it looks like.
Next week's
hopefully.
looking awesome.
Woo!
We just got to get through the next day or two.
We can get through it. We got this. We got this. Thanks, Keith. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.